Welcome back to another Rosh Reviews, where today we are in a 2002 VY Commodore SS. And this thing, guys, just listen to that LS1. Now this thing, it might only be the automatic, but I gotta tell you guys, the lump, the rumble, the big old cam in this thing, I simply had to get in this thing. So today we're going to be covering this extremely well presented VY Commodore. So strap up, people, and let's send it. Oh yeah. Now of course we do have to say a huge thank you to Next Ride for loaning us this particular VY Commodore, and this is for sale, guys. If you guys are interested, there's a link below, because this thing only has 126,000 kilometers. It sounds like an absolute monster. It rumbles, it's got a big old cam intake, and yeah, this thing, regardless of the 4-speed slush box, it is a lot of fun. Now guys, the VY came out only for a couple of short years. We had 2002 up until 2005, and before this, obviously, we had the VU. I do love that shape as well. Then you had the VY, this thing is looking good, and then you had the God tier, the VZ, the king of Holden, in my personal opinion. That shape is just the pinnacle, and this VY laid the foundation for that, because you can see a lot of similarities in the VY and the VZ, but yeah, just beautiful looking cars, these things. That's the beauty of the LS1. You know, this has got the LS1 up front. It's a 5.7 liter, naturally aspirated V8, and it doesn't make huge amounts of power from factory. You know, these things were claimed at about 235 kilowatts, about 465 Newton meters, so decent for 20 years ago. But, you know, you've got a lot of potential in these LS1s to really open them up a little bit. And this, I don't know if it's been opened up, but man, it sounds beautiful. It really, really does. On the interior here, yeah, it isn't much to talk about, because you just got the most basic climate vents. You know, you kind of got a cool gauge cluster with the green in there, and the green seats, and the green on the side of the door, but it's nothing to rave about. This particular one, it does have some aftermarket gauges up front. So, you know, we've got oil pressure, battery voltage meter, yeah, you know, things like that. But I have to say, this one, considering it's a 20-year-old vehicle, the interior is absolutely mint. Whoever owned this before really took care of this thing. And again, guys, 126,000 Ks. Like, this is a find, definitely. It feels pretty composed, though. You know what those front wheels are doing up front. You know, the ride's pretty reasonable. Steering, it's not the sharpest, but this is a big muscle car. You know what I mean? You know, we're not here for precision, mate. We're here for brute force. And it delivers that noise. Oh yeah, and when you want to have a bit of a play, you can still kind of manually run these gears a little bit, which it isn't amazing to do, but you can. Drop it into second. You come around this tighter hairpin here. Load it up. It takes off nonetheless. You know, it might be a little sweeter in a T56, but I gotta tell you guys, you know, that's why I took this car out today. Normally I wouldn't really take one like this because of the slush box. I always call them that, and they don't give me as much joy. But when I turned the key on this thing and I heard that chop, mate, I just had to do it. Had to take this thing out. We come around this real tight hairpin here again. We get onto it. Gotta watch them brakes, because yeah, they don't got the biggest brakes, these ones. Oh, but it is so much fun to do. And yeah, you gotta love these things. For as much as it's just a big brute that these cars are, you gotta love them because they ain't trying to be fancy. You know, it's basic as hell in this cabin. And all we got is rear-wheel drive, a big V8 up front, T56 if you're lucky enough, and that's all you need, man, to make the smiles. I'll tell you, chuck a big old cam like this has. I have not stopped smiling all day. Now, guys, if you are enjoying this type of content, please make sure you guys go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button, hit the bell notifications, like, share. It really does help the channel. We just passed 40,000 subscribers, and we are en route to 100K. So let us get there, please, and enjoy these Aussie cars because I sure am. Oh yeah, that note. There's something about this smaller 5.7 liter LS1. Look, I love the LS2, you know, it's in the VZ and the HSV version. It's my absolute favorite HSV. But these little 5.7s, I say little, but you know what I mean? They got just such a nice note. Of every one I get into that just has a nice exhaust. You don't even need a cam, but a cam is just the gravy. You know what I mean? Like that KFC chicken salt. You know what I'm talking about? You know, you chuck a big cam in this thing, and it just makes it so much sweeter. And I really do appreciate the 5.7 exhaust note that comes out of these engines. They are just beautiful. Another interesting fact about the VY, guys, was that they actually exported the VY to the Middle East. So again, the Middle Easterns, they are our Eastern brothers for sure, because they are all about the V8s, just like us Aussies were, sadly. And they actually got this car as a Chevrolet Lumina SS. So you could get them in SS form as well in the Chevy badge, the Lumina vehicle, which I think that's hilarious. I gotta go to Dubai one day and try and track one of these things down because that is just comical. But how cool is that? And I really just doesn't compute in my mind that they wouldn't have tried to do that vehicle in the US. It just grinds my gears. And I know back then they had the Monte Carlo and they had all these kind of Dale R. Jr. like, some of them are cool, I'll say. You know, there's some hidden gems in America back in the early 2000s, but Australia was just hitting the nail on the head. And the fact that, you know, they didn't just take what we had here in Australia and just implement it in America, to me, it just didn't make sense. Just GM politics, unfortunately. Now, price, guys. Look, back in 2002, a brand new VY Commodore SS was going to set you back about 49 grand. Now, on the used market, you can really pick up some bargains, and actually the COVID insaneness has shown some relapse. It's actually starting to come down a little bit, which is nice to see. And I've seen these things going for like 13 grand. Like 13 grand is a ridiculous deal, I feel like. But if you are going to get a premium, clean example, low Ks in a manual, expect to pay 35, 40 grand even. They do start to get up in price later down the line. Look at this Karen. Wow, guys. Literally, you see a Commodore with some cameras on it, and I'm just about to do the 0 to 100 test, and this Karen is stopped on the middle of the road, and then I finally give in, go by her. She starts driving again. Now I turn around, and she starts flashing me and stopping on the highway. What the fuck? People, mind your own business. Like, literally, that's all I can say. Just pulling up onto this back road. Gonna reset the draggy. Power mode, traction control is off. And it's the Karen again! She's following me! Are you kidding me? Mate, to put this into context, guys, I do a 0 to 100 launch. We are on we're out in the country. This is the country, people. We're an hour away from any life. And every now and then, you always get these people, man, chasing you down. Ridiculous. We did our 0 to 100 right by her. You can probably see her in the camera, maybe, one of these cameras. And let's see what the time was despite this Karen interrupting. Now 0 to 100 was done in about 5.9 seconds here. And for a 4-speed, that doesn't seem like too bad of a time. We actually were starting to get a little bit of wheel spin in first gear, so I put it back into second quite quickly. Yeah, I don't have a dyno sheet for this, but it's got an exhaust, a big old cam, and an intake. So it could be tuned, I don't know. But 5.9 is pretty healthy. That's pretty healthy. It doesn't really come up on camera, but I am literally like rocking in my seat right now. The whole car is just kind of like, this is why I want a V8 again, just to put a big cam in it, and I absolutely love the noises these things make. And you know, while we're here, let's go one more time here, row it. It just smiles. You know what I mean? It just smiles. You gotta love these things. 20 years on, and they still put a smile on my dial. So, yeah, I love this car. I'm gonna finish the video off here today, guys. Huge thanks to NextRide for loaning me this VY. Link is in down below. What do you got to say? I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed this VY Commodore. I absolutely did. So make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Consider subscribing if you're new here, people. And as always, we will see you on that next video. Take care.